YouTube. Yay!
Yay.
Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you all so much for joining today for another episode of PinOak's Pals. I am feeling absolutely blessed and very grateful to be joined by the beautiful Ren with LivingZenwithRen. So super excited to be able to share space with you all today. And it looks like Campton is joining us today as well. So that's super exciting. So we're going to hold space today to talk about channeling and what channeling looks like in our lives, as well as just being able to express kind of how our emotions flow through our space and how we can utilize that energy to be able to connect, and any tips and tricks on the full moon that feel like coming out tonight as well, we will share. So hello, beautiful Campton. Thank you so much for joining. It's lovely to see you.
What's up?
Awesome. Well, I believe we'll start with some gratitude. First of all, I'm super grateful to be here with you guys in episode 3. Oh, we didn't talk about the volume, Ren. So on your Instagram, you'll want to turn the volume all the way
There we go. I think that, wait, did I do? I muted it and I tried to turn the volume all the way down. It doesn't like turn all the way off if you go all the way down. Wait, I'm like hear myself being.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna put it far away.
Okay, well that's cool. It'll be good. You know what? It'll be there. Just that way they can see that we're going live. And if they want to join us on Instagram over on YouTube, they can do that. So if you're watching on Insta, please feel free to join us over on YouTube, and yeah, click the link in my profile. So anyways, back to gratitude. I'm grateful for this full moon. I'm grateful for Mercury retrograde ending. And I'm also super grateful for Sifu. Boggy is doing Reiki, Reiju attunements, and super grateful for that opportunity to be able to connect. So yeah, ultimately, I'm just really grateful to be able to be here with you guys. So, and this unfolding adventure. Anybody else would like to share gratitude? You can.
Oh, I'm always like, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't know if you have any more to say. No, yeah. It's so weird because it's like right there, and this is not like shutting off the sound. So I'm sorry if you hear it. I told you I am a grandma with technology. But I'm just really grateful for this space. I love how you guys both have really cool backgrounds, and I just have my room. You guys are in space and like the moon, and I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for this space, Kristen. Thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for stepping into your power and hosting this for yourself, for other people. Like, it is hard to do, to just like take ownership and say, okay, I'm just going to do it. I don't care. So I'm really, really happy that you did that, because you are awesome. So thank you.
So if this is a cue for gratitude, I'd like to ×2 what Ren said, and then ×2 what Kristen said. I mean, I'm so overwhelmingly grateful for spaces like this to present an opinion, I guess, or a belief, and have it be accepted by other people who are just entertaining ideas and going with what they know and not being so serious about this whole thing. And that's, I mean, in being born as the people that we're born as, like I look at this flesh every single day as maybe morose or as it sounds, but like, oh my God, like this is awesome. Like the position that I'm in, I could spend an eternity somewhere that I didn't like. I'd rather be this 90-ish year experience as a human being, and it may not even be that. That's another crazy thing, but I'm grateful for the situation that I'm in that will propagate the highest growth for my spirit. And I'm grateful for the fact that, gosh, coming into that confidence means that you know that you add. And for the sensitive individual, it's uncomfortable to know, or to like be like, I know that I'm adding, and even just the way that I said that is an exemplification of the sensitivity that I have to confidence. But confidence is an essential ingredient into changing people's minds, because it to them it means that you've come out on the other side of something that they may have been struggling with for years. And you've been struggling with something for years, and you've overcome that, and you have that wisdom. It would be a disgrace to your triumph if you didn't give it to somebody. So your confidence, we appreciate it. And myself, I'll fully admit it. I might come off as cocky or having a chip on my shoulder, but after years of being bullied, after years of being oppressed by the Western matrix, a little bit of cockiness I'm okay with. All right. The people that I love know that I'm a sensitive individual, and that the first second of adversity or oppression against me, I will cripple and crumble if it wasn't for them. And they know that. And I wish that they would, reinforce that confidence. So again, just a concluding statement as to my gratitude, I guess, is what we're starting this with, is my gratitude for those individuals who are sensitive and have been oppressed, but still try. Because you know what that trying represents? It represents the strength that we all hold within. It represents the source that we all emanate from. Nobody can take that away from you. And if they're trying to, and if you feel at their oppression, just remember that it's a lesson to stand back in your power and emanate forward the gift that only you have to give.
Beautiful, Camden. Thank you for that. Gorgeous. Yes. And watching your confidence shine has been gorgeous. So, and really just like side note, Ren, I still love your background. It doesn't have to be like one solid theme to still be amazing. And the plushie scene, I'm jealous of. So we can all look at this moment and realize sometimes we look at others and see, oh, what do they have? But then we look at what we have and we're like, oh yeah, I've got that. That's right. Which goes in with the confidence thing. Okay. All right, beautiful souls. Let's gather our energy and join each other in a nice little short meditation. If I can get my giggles together, which I believe in myself. I know I can. Okay, sometimes just get it out. Laughter practice. Laughter practice. Okay, I feel a little better. Got it out. Does anybody else need to get their giggles going?
I'm getting them as you're going.
Ren, I'm interested in what sound it was that you're.
I'm like frozen on the Instagram, and I'm looking at myself, like myself is looking at me on the phone, and I'm like frozen, so it looks like another clone of me, and it's freaking me out.
Okay, let's we're just gonna not worry about Insta. I think you're off of it anyways. So, okay. Okay, I believe in us. I believe in us. Did everybody else get there? Oh yes. Okay, but for real, let's do this. No, but honestly, I think it's great to just be able to be present in the moment. And I think if presently we all have the giggles and the wiggles, then that's what we have to get out of us. The giggles and the wiggles, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I feel a lot better. Thank you all for allowing me the space to express that energy. All right. I will invite us now into a beautiful space of collecting our breath. And if you'd like to grab any crystals or light any incense or candles, you are more than welcome to do so. And I invite you to just allow yourself to find a comfortable position. We can begin by taking a nice deep breath in. And release. breath in. Release. And one more breath in. And release. And inviting you to imagine a beautiful silver light pouring down over the crown of your head. And inviting this beautiful silver light to move down the throat, through the heart, and across the shoulders, releasing any tension as it moves through the body, giving each muscle the permission to relax. As this light moves down the spine, through the organs, moving through the solar plexus and sacral, down to the beautiful root center at the base of the spine. And inviting you to imagine the base of the spine relaxing and releasing any tension in your pelvic floor, dropping that energy down into the earth with a beautiful breath in. Inviting you in this moment to bring in any energies into your space. Imagining peace and love forming a beautiful ball of light around your body and wrapping you in this gentle, warm, loving space. And we'll take one final breath in and release. Whenever you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, knees and your nose, and open your eyes whenever you're ready. So for today's discussion topic, we are going to be expressing our heart wisdom over channeling. And whenever we use the word channeling, I usually think about it in a way of connecting with spirit, sharing spirit messages, or even just allowing yourself to really be able to be connected to that higher self or those guides, that intuition. It can really go in a lot of different directions. So I am really excited today to be able to talk with, beautiful, beautiful Ren, beautiful channeler. She did an amazing reading for me. And I always think that one of the most beautiful things about readers, especially those that are really just working from intuition or even people that have been taught, there's so many different ways to be able to work with the information that comes with you. And I think that being able to find a way to express that what you're getting is truly an art form, and it comes with practice, and there's lots of different ways that we can connect with the wisdom that comes forward. And I'm really excited to hear from you guys. So I'm going to share my talking stick with both Ren and Campton. I know you play with your tarot as well, and you and I have even shared a tarot moment or two. So I think, and even in that moment, it was like we were kind of just joking, and it was like, yeah, let's just pull a card and whatever. And then it was a lizard, and we were just looking at lizards on the rock, So it's great. I love it. I am so excited for this beautiful topic. And Ren, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself and share a little bit about your experience with channeling, looking forward to hearing.
Thank you, Kristen. Again, I always call you like an earth angel because I totally think you are. And literally, you're Aerith from Final Fantasy. I don't know if you know that character, but you are her. And she's a flower girl. She just collects flowers. So I'm like, that's literally Kristen. But it's just thank you so much for having me on this space, because I said this in one of the paradigm shift podcast or whatever it was, and I was like, I always get nervous like to come on things like this, like I get heated, and like I don't know why that is. I'm trying to work through that, but I guess it's like because I'm just like so excited by the energy that other people want to talk about things like this. So it's like the inner me, like child version of me being like, yay, people that are like me. So yeah, so my name is Ren. I guess I've been doing tarot and like oracle readings for the past 3 years now, I'd say. It's just I don't even know why I started it. I've always been into cards. Like I collected Pokemon cards growing up. I collected wacky packages. That was like my stuff. I still have the full binder of like from 2000, I think, was the year that I started collecting them, and I have all of them. Like, so I guess like to me, I was like, I'm gonna try this out. Like, let's see how it goes. And when I just started doing it for myself, practicing, I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, this is more than like just working with playing cards. Like, you're actually getting like intuitive insight, and it almost felt like a higher version of myself giving me insight and guidance along the way. And when I started doing it for people, I was like really scared, because I was like, what if it's wrong? What if what I'm saying is like completely not what is happening at all? And all that kind of stuff. But once people started responding and they were like, how did you know? Like, how did that come across so like just compassionate and like honest and real and authentic? I was like, wow, like maybe I have a gift with this, because it's not like I'm trying, as you probably know, you do readings too, and cards and Campton probably, you're not like trying hard. You're not like pulling the card, like, okay, I need it to be this card. Like, tell me what I need to know. Like, you're just present in the moment, and like a card will fall out and you're like, okay, this is literally what I needed. And I think that because you're not pushing something to happen, it's just coming naturally. That's channeling, like you were like this whole topic is about. You're pulling like the highest version of yourself into this space, and just helping yourself out a little bit and guiding yourself for others as well. So I don't know, that's my spiel on it, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on it. Like, what is channeling? Like, how do you feel channeling is for you guys? To me, it's like a warm blanket. It's like just warmth and like reassurance, you know? So I'd love to hear what you guys say. So thank you again, Kristen.
I love that. I love that, Ren. It is like a warm blanket. And it's like whenever you find that flow state, and that's what I want to talk about with emotions, but I want to give Campton a chance to speak, because Campton has some really amazing wisdom on channeling. But I love that analogy, the warm blanket. It's like, yes, please.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, like the forefront of what I actually have to say is what actually Ren just said, is that we are channeling, and humans aren't meant to be perfect. This is actually something that my mother gave to me recently, was we're perfectly imperfect. We're not made to be like the best in every situation, every social circumstance. We need to be perfect and an exemplary satisfaction of human triumph. No, we don't need to be that. Channeling, sorry, I'm kind of like crazy here, but I love that this space to extrapolate these ideas. But with what Ren said about the confidence, right? We have to have a certain amount of confidence in the intuitions that we're pulling, and the interpretations even of the cards that we pull, because there's the card, it says itself, it's an archetype, it's an archetypal thought, it's an archetypal realm of things that we can psychologically map to, but it's the reader who gets to transmit that to the what is it, readee? No, I don't know what it's called, but whoever's getting read is clearly at the mercy of the interpretation of the person giving that reading. And it brings an interesting question of the authenticity of intuition and spirituality and things like that. And for me, I give a lot of weight to somebody's intuitive perception of something more than I give weight to the peer-reviewed paper or like modern dogmatic science. So these are just a few initial thoughts into this whole thing. But when I'm reading tarot, I mean, for me, I'm looking at my tarot cards. Actually, yeah. So I'm looking at my tarot cards, and it's like whatever I pull, it's not random. It was meant to happen in some way. Not meant to, but like so many times, like a card is like flipped out of my deck, and I'm like, okay, wait, this could be something. But then sometimes I put it back. What is that? What is the ultimate deciding factor of the card that I pull and what it means? I don't know. Oh, but I have a theory. It's that our intuition is real. Like what we're tapping into, and we have these like a feeling of knowing that something is right. It's at least minimally acknowledgeable. But I guess I'll focus on channeling spirit, channeling. We are it. Like the substratum of our existence is consciousness, awareness, creativity, intellect, introspection, and evolution. And all of these words, the source, God, doesn't prefer any labels because it is infinite. It cannot be defined, right? The most limitless potential within cannot be defined. It can only be evoked by those that are propagated by it. So we are the propagation of infinity, which means that you yourself are an individuation of infinity. With no personification, with no labels or anything like that. You are literally the substratum of existence. Okay, so in our world, we take ourselves seriously. We take our ego seriously. When somebody denies our belief, we are either invoked into a wretched, righteous vengeance to prove that we were right. Or we are, set a caste, and we are, feeling alone in our beliefs. But the world now suits the unique and idyllic belief, and no longer will the modern Western matrix survive. So channeling wisdom, right? This is all about channeling. Sorry, guys, if you know me, you know that I deviate, but for a good cause. So channeling this wisdom, channeling through us is spirit. So for me, like my eyes are closed right now. Oh gosh, they probably have been for a few minutes now, but my eyes are closed because it exhausts the oxygen from trying to create a visual reality and puts that oxygen to other parts of my brain where it can propagate these thoughts. So I'll conclude it here. So channeling from tarot, it's not probability, baby. No, it's not just random chance. Boom. The what is this? The Four of Cups. Not a coincidence, guys. All right, the Four of Cups. We're gonna look at that up later. Kristen already knows because she's a master. And Ren probably too. Nothing is a coincidence, and it's funny. It's not daunting. It's funny that we're not right, because that's what grows us as a spirit. So channeling is something that anybody can do. You just have to listen. And the hardest thing to do in the world for an ego, for a human being, is to listen to the things that are simple and allow them to evolve. Because the simple thing is, no, I'm not broken. I just need to repeat this enough times until I become good at it. Right? That's the gripe that I had for the majority of my life. From 5 years old until 20, I thought you were either good at something or not. I didn't know that you had to repeat something to be good at it. All right. But, I think the majority of the world believes that they just are or are not something. And we need to be educated to the fact that anybody can be good at something Anybody can excel. You need to repeat it enough. But the ultimate underlying factor is, are you passionate about it? Do you care? Are your emotions in it? Are you devastated if it doesn't go the way that you wanted it to? All right. That's how you know that you care. All right. The pain that you feel is how you know that you care. So anyway,
Campton.
that's me right now. Thank you, Kristen, for the platform.
Thank you, Campton, for sharing. And that's it right there in that moment. That's channeling. That's it. Can we all just like, thank you, Campton? Because you said you're closing your eyes so you can focus. I close my eyes whenever I'm really focused when I'm channeling too. You wonder why? Do you feel, can I ask you a question? Whenever you're speaking with your eyes closed and you're focusing on what you're saying, do you feel like it's coming from your heart or your head in the moment?
So
Like the
heart,
energy.
right. So heart, I connotate with love and like and like the real us. When I'm channeling, I feel like it's coming from the highest extent of my honesty. And whether that honesty is the like God or source or whatever, I cannot claim, because it seems too audacious to claim, because I'm a mere subject of truth. But when I close my eyes, I'm asking myself for the complete truth of myself. Like, what is the highest knowingness that I have? And that usually comes from the nothingness that is everything, which many people may call source. So I'm just being honest with whatever's coming forth from my highest intuition.
Can we bring it back to the warm blanket idea?
What? Wait, say that again. The warm blanket idea. What is that?
Ren said that it's like a warm blanket, that it feels like a warm blanket.
Ah,
You're in that space and you're channeling, that it just kind of feels like a warm blanket.
yeah. And sometimes actually I have struggles with that. I have struggles with allowing myself to be loved, allowing myself to be perfectly imperfect. I feel like I have to achieve something before I get to be loved. But I think what love it really is you're loved no matter what.
Yes.
And gosh, that's something that I'm learning from all you guys.
Oh, beautiful. Well, let me take a crack at this. Okay, so how do we explain channeling? You guys both did such a good job. I think really it kind of ties back in with what we were talking about in the paradigm shift circle discussion today with connecting with spirit, because really whenever we are channeling, we are connecting with spirit and allowing spirit the opportunity to express whatever is needed to be expressed in the moment. And I think a lot of people channel without realizing that that's what they're doing. And it's almost like you, whenever you feel really in tune, or you feel like whatever is coming forward from you may be coming from a place that's outside of yourself, but it's also within yourself. Like, it's really hard to explain. Like, yeah, it's like it is you, but it's not you. It's coming from, yeah, the void source. There's many words for it, but I think the other important thing about channeling that I really wanted to talk about is, and both of you have mentioned it, but it's really that ability for your emotions to be what kind of guides you. And I think this is where it's really important that we have a healthy relationship with our emotions developed, because the more you become in tune with your emotions and understanding your emotions, the more you can understand the guidance or the intuition that's being shown to you, as well as being able to open up to those like outside sources. So if you guys know me, you'll hear me talk about the clair abilities, your clairsentience, your ability to feel and the more than what's around you, or clair cognizance, the ability to just simply know. You've got clairvoyance, which is clearly seeing, and clairaudience, which is clear hearing, and then we've also got clairgustance and clairalliance, which is clear tasting and smelling. And these are all just different sensory experiences that you have. So when you're closing your eyes and you're seeing kind of a vision in front of you, or maybe you're hearing it in your own words or someone else's words, or who knows what, it comes differently for everyone. But it's really being able to allow yourself to become in tune with the different ways that spirit speaks with you. And then like the next process of it is being able to really trust that, because like, let's say you're clearly connected with your clairvoyance, you close your eyes and you can see the picture very clearly, but then you go to speak it and you can't get the words out because you haven't really connected your, you know, emotions with your ability to see what's in front of you in your world. And so you kind of have this that's where like the level comes in of healing, and being able to see where whenever we heal ourselves or the spaces around us, we open up our abilities to channel that much better. It's like, you know, understanding that your body is simply like the vessel for the information coming forward. It's like remaining humble in the fact that, like Campton said, like he's not going to claim that coming from him, it's coming from somewhere else. It's like you are simply the tool that is being utilized. It's like okay, this is a really weird example, but it's almost like if you have a glove on, and let's say on your glove you have like little things on the tips of your fingers. I don't know, let's call them like little squiggly things. And whenever you wiggle your fingers, the squiggly things move. Okay, you are like the squiggly thing for the universe to be able to express. I don't know, that's what they showed me in that moment. So I hope that made sense for somebody, but you know, you are the expression, and it's understanding that like you can't control the message. You can't control what comes out. And you can try, but then you're going to end up manipulating the message, and it's going to be what you need to hear, but not necessarily what was trying to come through. But that's a whole nother like side topic within channeling. But yeah, I think the big thing is really understanding your flow with your emotions and connecting with that in channeling, and allowing those to be what really guides you and gives you an opportunity to share what it is, share your heart wisdom. You can channel through paintings. I have channeled paintings right now on my walls. So like, you know, don't limit yourself. Maybe you're somebody that channels with your body, you know, the people that you see doing light language, or, you know, that's, you're channeling using your body. Don't limit yourself to the tools. You are a limitless, multidimensional being, and you can do anything you put your mind to. That's the end. Okay.
I love how you conclude that. Like you're just like, you're on this high, you're on this like rocket ship momentum. And you're like, yeah, but whatever. I love that. It exemplifies your humility, Kristen. Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you for that.
I feel the same way about you, Campton. Mic drop.
We tight.
Oh, beautiful. Ren, do you have anything else you'd like to share on channel?
Yeah, so oh my God, you guys are so insightful. It's not even funny. Campton, it kind of looks like there's little glitches every once in a while, like the green glitch behind you. And I'm like, oh my God, we're glitching the matrix. It's
Wait,
so
do
weird.
I need to fix something?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll randomly see like literally like the little green, like from the Matrix, like in the back. It's
in my
not
room.
No, it wasn't that. It literally was like the coding, like I don't know. We have to go back and see it, but
okay.
it was weird. But yeah, no, what you said, Campton, before about like sometimes we doubt ourselves, like our intuition, I guess. Like if we like pull a card and we're like, I'm just gonna slide this back in here. It's like, why did we think that? You know, like I've done like when I'm sometimes, okay, this is so weird. And this is how I tell people like, okay, this is how you know it's meant for you. I'll like, let's say I'm doing like a 12 card reading, right? And I'll pick a card and it's like a specific house, but I'll be like, this is not the card. And I'll just put it back, right? And I'll just keep shuffling. That same card will pop out at a later point in time for another house. And I'm like, okay, I see what was happening. Like my intuition was like, we're not ready for this yet, but it's meant to come in. And that's happened to me multiple times at readings. And I'm like, okay, this is the message, I know. And then that's always like the house or card that someone's like, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm going through. And I think that's crazy, because that's when I started to really be like, okay, so this isn't just me like guessing myself. This is really like a higher power, higher source that's like almost like it's like in the room with you, and it's like, no honey, like later. Like, and I think that's just so cool. Like you just gotta like trust source. And you know, like some people will look at life and things that happen around them, like you guys were saying the lizard card, you were looking at lizards. Some people look at that and pass it off as, oh, this is just a coincidence. Literally 10 different things could happen. It could literally be like they're thinking about their mother, they're walking in the mall, they see a poster of a mother and a child, they overhear someone talking about calling their mom, and all these coincidences, and they're just like, yeah, but it's not real, it's just coincidence. And I used to be one of those people, but now it's like, no, that's magic. That's literally the universe like, hey, pay attention, like this is happening for you, call your mother, or you know, whatever is going on. And like once you realize that the universe is not just like, hey, this physical reality, I can touch the stressor, so that's real, and you realize that it goes so much more beyond that, you know, that things are happening for you behind the scenes that you don't even know are happening, you know, like those moments in your life where you know, something wasn't ready for you yet. Maybe it was a job, maybe it was a relationship, and you're trying so hard to make it work. You want it so bad, but years later, you start living your life. And then years later, that perfect person comes in. And it's because, hey, the universe was pulling these strings, making sure that it was happening for you, but you just had to focus on the present moment. And you can't, like I was saying, you can't force things to happen against free will, you know? So that's what I think channeling is. It's also like living presently in the moment, picking up on the littlest tiny details even, and just like taking it for face value, I guess the word is, and just like continuing on, and, you know, not trying to force anything to really happen, like just like flowing like water, like a river. River always flows no matter what happened, whatever rocks get in and like clog up the way, like it still finds its way to keep flowing. So that's what I think channeling is. It's never forced, it's just, it feels just right. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah.
Would you say like in that respect, like channeling is almost surrender?
Yeah.
Because I feel like our ego wants to have a say, but it may not be in the best interest of the long game, which is what spirit has on lock.
Totally. I think, yeah, and I think we mentioned that too. And like when we were talking, it was last week, it was in Paradigm Shift about what is death. And that was a really freaking hard topic to talk about. And I don't know who mentioned it, but someone mentioned that it was like the ultimate surrender. And that was like, I think when you get into spirituality and all, whatever, you know, word bodes well with you, you know, it really is surrendering, because that ego, like you were saying, it's like, yeah, but I want to be popular and I want people to like me and I don't want people to view me as crazy. And if I start liking this stuff, you know, and you have to just surrender. Like you have to just say, I don't care what people think about me. I don't, you know, I don't care whatever, like I'm just gonna like go for this because it's something that's gonna actually help me, because what I've been doing has not been working. So I'm just gonna surrender to this. Like I think we all go through that. I think that's how the spiritual awakening starts. It's the first start is the surrender, right?
I think too, like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but whenever you have something that you're like not really fully surrendering to, you're trying to ignore that, like the cups, it comes up, the 4 of Cups, and you're like, I'm just gonna put that back, and then like it comes back later. Like doesn't matter if you try to ignore it, it's gonna keep coming back. So yeah, the surrender is definitely, like at some point you will find that moment of surrender. If it's what's meant to happen, then that's what's going to happen for you. And I send you all the peace in your journey on the way.
That's literally, it's so funny. People make a joke. They're like, Oracle is always kind and happy and uplifting. They're like, Tarot just slaps me in the face. And sometimes I don't want to hear it. And that's so true. It's like you sometimes are just like, okay, I'm just gonna pull an Oracle card because that will be nicer to me.
Yes, 100%.
Too true. Like the ego will fight for the easiest thing, and then what ends up being the easiest thing is the most logical, which is to let go of the past and use everything that you've gone through as the information that propagates your future, right? Because the only direction that you're ever headed as a human being is the future. But everything matters, right? Like if you were oppressed, that matters, right? You were unjustly hurt by the world. And unfortunately, the spiritual endeavor encourages you to accept almost the things that have been unjustly done to you. And I feel like that's actually the strongest thing, or will make the most of your strength, if you can acknowledge that 95% of the world is against you, essentially, because 95% of the world they're holding themselves, and not intentionally, to a religious ideologue or some sort of mission and purpose that is beyond their own capability, which is a misnomer, because you as an individuation of consciousness are infinitely capable. You can innovate in any area that you wish. The only difficulty is the fact that the majority of our culture is against you. So everything that you and you guys have said, everything Ren and Kristen, everything that you guys have said is completely in line with a higher ideology. And what I've been unfortunately exposed to is that the majority of the world may not be on board with that. And that has caused me personally to feel like I'm invalidated for the things that I've realized, like because the majority of the world is not onto that. But I want you guys to know that whatever your passion is, it's there for a reason. Like you're driven for a reason, and our soul is at a higher dimension than what we're experiencing right now, and it knows that you will succeed. It knows that you will transform the world. And any whisper of strength that you feel like you have is an indication of your purpose, your literal reason for existing. So if you don't capitalize on that, it would be a shame. Okay, and Kristen and Ren and myself exist for anyone listening to this for the sole reason to not only enjoy existence, but to inspire a greater existence into the majority of the public that's listening to this. So as for channeling, it's not something that you have to worry about. It's almost something that's too instinctual, that incites doubt, but that you have to listen to establish the firmest faith that is a prerequisite for enjoying the fullest extent of your life.
Kenton, that's beautiful. And I think you bring up a really beautiful point too, of that, you know, not everyone you meet is going to be on that same page, right? And I think the best we can do is meet our fellow humans with kindness and understand that they're on their own journey, right? And we can only meet them as far as they've come, and sometimes that's not as far as we would like, especially whenever we're channeling and we're sharing our channeled wisdom. And I think one of the things that I will say is really important whenever we're talking about channeling and sharing channeled messages is to understand that consent is a really big part of that. So understanding that sometimes we may get messages that we feel so called to share, and the right people will love those messages. Those messages could change the right person's life. And I always trust that whatever message that I put out there, I always set my intentions that those messages are going to reach who is meant to hear it. And if someone comes across it that isn't meant to hear it, and it meets them with confusion and it causes pain or anger or any of those negative outbursts that may come forward, because they happen often, meet them with love and understanding. And it's okay for them to feel the way they feel about it. That's okay. That's where they're at. And if we just understand that we can all live in a world where we're all one and yet all very different, I think that we could have a much more cohesive place to live. But that's, again, just my my 2 cents on it.
I said all this intellectual wisdom stuff, but yep, that's whatever.
Okay, can we talk about
That's what I say all the friggin' time with Kristen, man. It's like she says this epic, world-changing, revolutionary knowledge, and she's like, I don't know, but whatever.
and moon water. Wait, have you guys set out your moon water yet? Because it's a full moon and you can do
Not
so
yet.
good
We got to
things.
do it.
Guys, this was just what I needed today. Like, you don't even know, and talk about synchronicities. Like, my stomach is like churning just because I've been waking up not feeling great, like mentally lately. And I actually voice messaged Cami, if you guys know her, Luminous Cami. And I like was sending her like a 10-minute long voice chat. And I'm like, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at the world. I'm frustrated that no one gets it. I'm frustrated like that, like people are still doing this at stores and people are like not getting what's going on. People are not caring about medical freedoms or sovereignty. And like, I was just so angry. I was like, just telling her like how angry I've been and how helpless I've been kind of feeling. And I'm like, who knows what good is happening, right? Like, we don't see this happening. So are people actually making a difference? Are we doing the right thing? And she's like, girl, like, I love you, but you need to like focus on yourself. She's like, the more power, the more like hate or anger or frustration that you have towards these people in power or anyone in general, she's like, you are giving your power over. And she was like, you're meant to hold the like light frequency. You're meant to like help people on this planet and to like come into this lifetime and do what you are meant to do. You can't do that if you're focusing so much on other people and like stories, narratives that are not even real. They're just narratives. And I was like, you know what? Like, you're right. I've been feeding into the system. I've been feeding into like just being angry and feeling helpless and like letting my motivation decrease. And that's not what I'm meant to do. I'm taking away like I'm not like, I guess, like grateful enough for being able to just live this freaking experience. You know, some people don't get to be born. They don't get to be here. They don't get to share their gifts. You know, some people unfortunately have that taken away from them at young ages or from some other horrific accident. So who am I to like focus so much on the negative, on the things I can't control, you know? And this has just been, again, another synchronistic moment today of like reminding me of that and saying like, I can't live that way. I need to help myself. I need to help other people. I need to hold that light frequency, and we need to have compassion, you know, like holding compassion for even people who have wronged you, people who will never get you, people who you think in your world are doing the wrong thing. Like, everyone grew up with a different experience, a different environment, a different home setting, a whole, like, you know, everyone is like the main character of their own video game, I like to call it. So how are they able sometimes to take themselves out of that reality and see how someone else is going through it, you know? So just reminding ourselves that, you know, we're all here for a reason, and we're here to help each other grow as we're helping ourselves grow. So compassion is the number one thing, guys. And that's what I'm trying to like really embrace right now in my life. So thank you guys, because you guys are so insightful, and you guys are just so like, you can just tell the kind of people who are like working on themselves and can admit their faults and can admit that maybe they're not always on the right path, or maybe they're not always doing what they want to do or like happy even, but they're still getting up every day and they're fighting and they're trying and they're being there for others. And that's such an inspiring thing to see. So thank you guys. And I love you guys. And anyone else that's going to see this, like, you got this. So
Ren dropping her mic of wisdom right there. Thank you, Ren. Yes. Oh my gosh, because it's so important. Like, that anger is real. You have to acknowledge it. You can't just push it away and say, oh, maybe it'll go away if I do. No, you have to hold space for it. So I'm really grateful that you acknowledged that and reached out to beautiful Cami. She's amazing. Anybody, if you're interested in photography of magical sorts, check out Cami Luminous. I'll link her information down below the video as well. So, but yeah, it's powerful whenever we learn to connect with those emotions. But I wonder what we can do to use those emotions to help change the world. Like, I know we can. I think it comes back to like changing the world by changing yourself. Like, I can't go out into the world and have everybody understand things or change the way that we eat or take care of our bodies or whatever. Like, I can't do anything with what anybody else does, but I can directly reflect on how I take care of my space and my body and my mind, and continue to focus in on that and let that be what ripples out into the world. And yeah, it's definitely, you're right. Like, warrior is the word. Like, you have to wake up every day and see that as your mission, to say that you're going to continue down this path. Like, I choose me no matter what the cost, because choosing me means I'm choosing you, because I love you so much and I want to see you grow and succeed and be successful in life and feel that love and feel that joy and be able to, get the most out of what we can in this experience. And so, yeah, that will continue to fuel me. So again, the love is rippled back, and I'm truly grateful for you, Ren, in this beautiful space, and Campton as well. Your wisdom is always so wonderful, and I love you all dearly, this beautiful community. And if you all are interested, if you're watching this, please feel free to like the video or subscribe to my channel. This is PinOak's Pals, hosted in the Cove, and we're going to be doing this every Wednesday for who knows how. We'll see. We're going to do it for a while. I'm excited. I have quite a few people interested, so we're going to have a good time and keep talking about all the things and expanding and growing our consciousness and continuing to be the change that we want to see in the world, rippling love splashes as we go. Yeah, so what is this? This is a good love splash. This is like the puppy love splash. We'll call this. Okay. Oh, yes. And I send you guys so much love. If we'd like to go around and do any final gratitude or say any wisdom from our hearts, I do want to just, like, if anybody has any tips or tricks, the full moon is tonight. You can utilize the full moon energy for up to 3 days after the full moon. So if you don't have time tonight, feel free to do it anytime. But I always recommend setting out your crystals in the moon to let them charge, along with the water. And you can use moon water for just about anything, but it's a really great way to start the day. If you start the day off with a glass of moon water, you're about to be charged and energized. It's also a really great time to release the things in your life that are no longer serving you. So to journal over the things where maybe you have filled your cup and it is time to release, so that you can make room for new blessings, or anything that really maybe has just been kind of weighing in your space, feeling heavy. Really great time to do that. So journal that stuff down. If you'd like to hold a ceremony and burn the paper when you're done, that's really powerful. Howl at the moon, have a dance, the typical thing. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This space is always so dear to my heart. And yeah, and everyone watching, your love and support is super appreciated as well. So thank you all for being here. Did anybody have any final gratitude?
I know, I was like, as I was reaching it. Yeah, just so grateful. And I'm actually like, wow, we did this on like a full moon night, guys. So like extra energy, right? Yeah, so I think it's in Aries, right? Full moon. So I like Aries is all about like the fire element, divine masculinity. So I think it's funny that the theme of anger, frustration kept coming up, because I think we a lot internally maybe all have been feeling a little bit that way recently. So I guess this would be a really good time to like Kristen was saying, like, instead of saying, I don't want to feel this feeling, it's important to embrace those feelings. Like, look at and say, why am I feeling anger? Where's this anger coming from? Frustration, whatever it may be. And journaling that, like you said, you can even journal that down, be like, this is why I'm feeling frustrated. This is where my anger is stemming from. And this is how I want to be able to transmute it. I think that's something that can be helpful. journaling, moon water, charging your crystals. I like to burn bay leaves. I'll like write things on them. So like things I'm manifesting in or even letting go. So setting that intention before, like I am letting go of anger, right? And writing that on the bay leaf and burning it. I think that's a really cool ritual to do. Lighting candles. And yeah, honestly, I wish I could do more of this stuff, but I'm one of those people, I get exhausted on full moons. I sometimes fall asleep by like 8, 9 p.m. randomly, and then I wake up like, I didn't do anything. So it's so weird. It makes me tired. I don't know why, but yeah, just embrace it. Don't feel like you have to do pressure to do anything crazy. Just, like even if it's setting intention, like Kristen said, to, let certain things go and release, then, that's enough. Like meditate, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you. So thank you again, Kristen, Campton, for your wisdom. I always love hearing from the two of you guys. This is like a little love triangle, like little Zelda triangle over here.
Yes. Yes, the love triangle. I will take that. Anything Zelda, anytime you reference Zelda, I will be more than happy to incorporate that. No, yeah. Second, like last side note, and then I'm done, I promise. But yes, like you do not feel pressured to do anything. Sleeping is totally normal. Some people, it's just a lot of energy. You're an intuitive empath and you're sensitive to energy. So if you feel like you need to sleep. Only thing I will push is please drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. I mean, it's always good for you, but especially during the full moon. And yeah, listen to your body. So okay. Thank you all so much. Campton, did you want to any final?
Let's see. So gratitude or just like statements or
Final thoughts, feelings,
okay.
gratitude, whatever, just a final before we do a love splash goodbye.
Ooh, I love the love splash. I'm in the splash zone right now. Yeah, no, just immensely grateful for positions like this or platforms like this to present these ideas and connect with the individuals that I have longed for the majority of my life. And yeah, this is a great place to be. So I'm just generally grateful for y'all's existence. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. It's like, I'm grateful for your existence. You chose this mission. You chose to do these things that are hard. Like you live as a human being. You wake up in the morning and immediately there's adversity because you're within this fleshly being. But it's this weird thing that we have to be fleshly beings to extract the deepest nuance of eternity. And I feel like there's no better way that I could spend my little shot of eternity than with you guys. So my gratitude rests, I guess, most deeply within the minimal encouragement to stay alive. And that's something that I wish for you guys to hold to your heart for the rest of your existence as a human being, is that somebody else out there loves that you exist at minimum. So anybody that's trying to cast you down, you can actually show them empathy because they don't know the depth and coolness of the mofos that I do and the mofos that we do. All right. So you guys are way beyond cool because you entertain the idea of eternal love and you never have to judge yourself. You can only accept yourself and learn. And in that, you become more powerful. And I'm so invested, right? Like stocks become more powerful technically, right? This is a weak example, but stocks over time, they generally accrue a plus 7 or 8% over a decade, right? Peaks and valleys, of course, times of incredible gain, times of incredible loss. in our life, we can find that same resemblance. And the people that matter most in lives that are as volatile as that are the ones that love us, the ones that know, the ones that foresee the future. And I'm proud to be a part of that crew that sees the future of everybody that I'm involved with and knows that it's a worthwhile endeavor to sustain that love and sustain that gratitude. So the forward movement of my life has been indebted to those that believe in me, alongside the fortitude that I've had to cultivate it amongst adversity. So you matter, and you should never give up that position, because it's the most worthwhile thing that you'll ever partake in.
Thank you, Campton. I'm gonna let that love just soak into everyone listening right now. If you would like to continue connecting with the community that we have here, please feel free to check the links down below. Connect with the Ascended team. We have lots of plans for many more spaces that are going to be very beautiful to connect with. So we look forward to sharing this beautiful adventure with you all, and just sending lots of love and peace and gratitude for your evenings. May you continue being you and doing all that you do, and know that you are always eternally loved. And if you'd like, I'm going to put everyone on the view so we can all see. If we want to do a love splash for everybody, you can. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Okay, love splash. Bye. Have a good night. Love you all. Okay. I don't know.